You are now listening to the No Shame Podcast with Jay and Titus. And we're back. The No Shame Podcast is back, ladies and gentlemen. Back in the flesh, back in the womb, outside of the womb. I apologize for the hiatus over here. We apologize. And I'm going to be wincing a lot on this episode because of my back, but we'll get into that later. But we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Things have happened. Life has happened.
Big things.
Yep, big things. We're going to get into that as well. And we're going to give you a lot of the reasons why we took a pretty long break. And I think it was a purposeful break. And once we tell you guys, you'll understand why. So for those of you who've been waiting patiently, we thank you for your loyalty and your enthusiasm about our podcast. We promise to bring you better and more awesome content, which we do on the daily. And a lot of things have changed, huh, Titus?
A lot of things have changed.
You want me to go first? Or you want to go first?
Go ahead, brother. You've had way bigger changes than me.
Yeah. So as most of you known before, my wife was pregnant. My wife Angela was pregnant. We were pregnant. We were due October 22nd. And Angela had gone on maternity leave, 4 weeks early. And we were waiting for baby to come. But she came 2 weeks early. So she was born on October 6th, 2017. I had a baby girl. We didn't know that. We didn't want to find out the sex. And we found out, when she gave birth, of course. And
what a commendable act, my friend.
Thank you.
You're a rare breed. You and your wife are a rare breed in these days and times, Most new parents I know are like, they can't wait to figure out what sex it is, but you guys held out, showed restraint and patience, waiting till the day you gave birth. Neutral colors on everything.
It was yellow, gray, white, turquoise, that type of stuff. Painted her room turquoise. So, Angela sold me on the whole concept of waiting. I was one of those parents that didn't want to wait. She was the one that sold me on it. The only other person I knew that waited was my sister, and she waited for both kids. And to my credit, I was the one that actually guessed both sexes correctly. For my own child, this child, Sage, her name is Sage, we literally thought in our feeling, in our gut, even with Angela, that we were going to have a boy. I was dreaming about it. She dreamt about some stuff. People were telling us the way you look is a boy, But she came out a girl. It was like, and in the moment when we were in the, room, the nurse was like, "Okay, don't anyone say that call out the name of the gender of the baby. Let Jay, the dad, do it, right?" So we're going through the whole ordeal, and she's doing great. She's pushing. The nurse is like, "Oh, we see some hair. She's crowning, right?" And baby comes out with the quickness. She probably pushed 3-4 times, and then boom, he came out. And then she turns her around, right? I mean, this crying baby, turns her around through all the adrenaline and through all the things that were going on environmentally, emotionally, physically, because Sage was born early in the morning, so I was up the whole night, right? And
No
I look,
sleep for the weary.
yeah, no sleep for the weary, of course. I took naps here and there, but she turned. The nurse turns her around, and boom! The first thing I said was, "It's a girl." So I was surprised, but yet so ecstatic and elated, and all those emotions going through my body, in my head, and my heart. So I said, "It's a girl." And Sage just started to cry a little bit, and then she put it on mommy's chest, and she just stopped crying and wide-eyed, just looking around. I was like, instant falling in love at that moment ensued. It's like,
Right.
oh my god, another girl. So yeah, it's been a awesome journey so far as having another baby, and it's a different experience from my first child. Most of you know that I have another daughter, from a previous relationship. She's 8, Maya, and there's a lot of differences in that rearing of a child to this rearing of a child, because Maya wasn't born under the same circumstances. Sage was born, I'd say, in a more normal circumstance, as how babies should be born, all babies. Maya was born with a rare genetic condition, so this whole feeling of no sleep, or regular feeding, or the normal stuff that parents are supposed to do wasn't happening in the beginning. So I'm cherishing every single moment of it, because this is brand new to me.
Mm.
With Maya, we were in the hospital. We were in the NICU 24/7, staying at the Ronald McDonald House in Stanford, worrying my ass off about what's going to happen to her, because she didn't open up her eyes for the first 2 weeks. She was hooked up, and it's just something I would wish no parent would have to go through. But
Right.
so grateful at the same time for the doctors and nurses and staff at Stanford Lucille Packard Children's Hospital. So shout out to them. Shout out to the Ronald McDonald House. Without them, we had no place to stay. So those of you bashing on McDonald's, I don't care what you say about McDonald's. If it's not healthy, I don't give a damn, because without them, we wouldn't have anywhere to stay, or they housed us, they fed us, they gave us all these amenities, just to keep us occupied, because there's a whole bunch of families in there going through the same thing, and with kids that were going through worse ailments than what Maya was going through. So so in a nutshell, it's different right now from that experience to this experience, and to each their own. Each experience is beautiful in their own aspect,
Right.
and is very humbling, very eye-opening, enlightening in a way. So I try not to compare, with the initial, in the first child and the second child, because each one is different, right? But it's hard not to, because sometimes I'm more grateful in some aspects, and then sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, this is a lot tougher. Like right now, it's a lot tougher, because with Maya, we got to sleep at night because we couldn't be in the doctor's office or in the NICU, and the nurses were taking care
What
of
is a
her.
NICU?
Neonatal intensive care unit.
Mm.
So yeah, that's where all the infant, babies go. So all the babies have their own intensive care unit. So it's called the NICU, NICU. And like I said earlier, we got to sleep in a little bit because they kicked us out at 7 p.m. and the nurses take care of the babies round the clock, 24/7. So we got to sleep. With Sage, she has to feed round the clock. So I have to stay up during the night, which is fine, but it's you get sleep deprived.
This guy is sending me emails at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, Jay, what are you doing up, man? Oh, night shift today. Night shift.
Right.
You guys got a great system going over there, though.
Yeah, we had to, being new parents, and Angela's a brand new parent, we had to really come up with a good system just for our sanity, for our body to have enough rest. Even though we feel we can get a little bit more rest, but it just comes with the territory. All new parents can attest to what I'm talking about. But to come up with a system early on is key, because
Right.
it's very important. You guys communicate, with each other and make sure that you sleep, the other parent sleeps, you're just dividing your time to take care of this little human being that needs a lot of attention because it's a little human, innocent being, and all it knows how to do is cry because it's hungry or gassy or, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if you look at the humanistic level of having a child, it's just incredible, right? It's just an incredible thing, a miraculous thing that it happened. And you look at your child and you're like wondering the whole time, like, what must
Makes
it
you think,
be?
how did they do it back in the days of JC? Yeah. Like
Mm-hmm.
2,000 years ago. How did people have so many kids? Right?
Mm-hmm. With no medical technology,
There ain't no
nothing.
breast pumps.
Ain't no breast pumps, ain't no epidurals, ain't
No.
no nursing staff that makes you feel comfortable sleeping on a, gurney that moves up and down. You know what I mean? Like, it was, yeah, it's amazing how far we've come and the progress that we've made. And I
Just as
think, yeah, just as a race. And Oprah said it best, when anyone's born, it doesn't matter who, what, where. If anyone is born, that alone is a miracle in itself. We're all miracles in the making because of all the circumstances that had to happen for us to be born.
Mm.
And we're literally speaking, we're 1 in a billion, right? Like, it just took that one
Little
sperm to hit
swimming
that
guy.
one swimming guy to hit that one egg at the right opportune moment where the mom had to create this perfect environment for them to meet, attach, a 1 in a billion sperm cells to put together, and then the baby's born. Like, it's when you think about it like that, it kind of takes you back, and you're like, wow, it's amazing. Angela and I still talk about it when we look at Sage today. We just sit there, we'll watch her as she's wide-eyed looking around and being curious about the world. She doesn't even know she has hands yet. Like, all she knows how to do is suck when the bottle's coming. She knows how to feed. She knows how to cry. We're learning that there are different crying levels. So she's coming into her own as far as her different cries. Like, we know when it's just crying that she's just, bored or just like kind of complaining about something. It's not
Mm.
as, it's not as loud, or it's not as
She's already
heartfelt.
playing the game.
Yeah, she knows. She's Because that's all they're doing is trying to learn and survive, right? So, I mean, we put it in the Mamaroo. You've seen the Mamaroo,
Yeah.
right? The little, we call it the little Cadillac. Those of you out there that have it, awesome, awesome. Uh, I wouldn't say tool. What is it, like a babysitter, almost, kind of?
It's not a device. It's
Yeah, yeah. What is it? What would you call a Mamaroo? Those of you out there that have it, email us or text or tweet us. Um, so those of you that don't know what a Mamaroo is, let's get into it for a little bit. So it's kind of like a device. Well, it's kind of like a babysitter. Uh,
it's the upgraded version of a rocker,
exactly.
of a cradle,
You're right.
right?
Exactly. Exactly.
It
Great.
is the souped up Bentley with multiple settings, and it sways your baby to sleep, keeps
Correct.
them comfortable while they're lying in this plush environment that has car settings and rocking settings.
Right.
In other words, it's a fancy motherfucking rocking chair for a baby.
Yeah. Great. Great description right there. Couldn't have said it better. He's right. It is a souped up rocker. We got it for our baby shower. One of Angela's aunties got it for us. Shout out to her. And we put her in there, and it has a whole bunch of settings from mimicking a car ride to a kangaroo to a wave to a circle, and it vibrates, moves around. I mean, this thing is pretty damn awesome. And she'll sleep in there and, like, go up and down. You can attach music to it. You can set the speed setting, all this stuff, right? So she's gotten kind of used to it at times now. Now that she's 2 months. She's 2 months today. Exactly. Yeah,
Hey,
she's 2 months
happy
old today.
birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday. Exactly. She's 2 months old today. And yeah, she kind of knows when we put her down into it, right? Because she'll kind of have this, if she doesn't like it, she'll have this, like, kind of irritated cry, you know? It's not a full I'm hungry cry. It's like a and then she has this little, like, boo boo face, like, thing, It's cute. But yeah, she'll let us know in that part. And, sure enough, we'll come over, and ask and pick her up. I sometimes ask her, like, "What's the matter? What what do you want?" and stuff like that. So um, I try to be a lot more verbal with her when I'm talking. It's funny too, because Angela's like, she can't understand you. I was like, so
Doesn't
yeah,
matter.
it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter one bit. You just got to
Yeah.
keep talking.
Mhm. They say
Eventually,
you have
she's
to
gonna
keep
pick it up.
talking. Yeah, they have to keep talking or singing or all that stuff. So yeah, she's learning for sure about the different reactions and behaviors of what we're doing. Right? That's what all mammals do. They observe because that's all they can do initially, because they don't know how to, or humans, they don't know how to verbally speak yet.
Mm.
So if they cry, they're looking at us like, okay, I'm gonna cry now. You're gonna come pick me up, or you're gonna give me food, or you're gonna, and that's all registering in their little brains. See, isn't it amazing when you think about it in that aspect and contemplate about it? You're just like, man, babies are amazing little things.
Yeah, I just try to think what they're thinking because they
Right,
have to be thinking something,
right,
but yet there's no words to put thoughts into translation, nor emotions or feelings, like physical feelings on top of emotional feelings. So, what is going on in their brains when you don't have a language to associate with that?
mhm, exactly, exactly.
Probably like, give me some motherfucking food.
Or I feel pain, or I feel hunger.